Alright, so this should be part 4 of my Pillars of Eternity playthrough. We just got through the caves and saw that very mischievous looking man doing some zany human sacrifices, which caused a explosion, which seemed to knock us unconscious and kill a party member. So,
as you wish.
we had just rescued a dwarven chef from some bandits. And we shall continue now. Some items up on that ridge there that I would really like to obtain. How do I get to the other side of this river? I've already been up here, right? I have. Appears to be a way to get over there. Ah, bridge. Of course. When in doubt, look for the bridge. Alright, we have combat. See if we can get a stun in. Alright.
Let spoils down a while.
Okay. Badly injured. Okay.
What is it?
Taken down.
Of course. Yes,
Wolf pelt.
as you wish.
What I assumed that would be. We can interact with this wall. These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains. The stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one could easily reach the top. Scaled wall. You find a handhold upon one of the large stones and start pulling yourself up. You make your way steadily up the crumbling ruin over the top. Oh, so that's how you get up here. Fulvano's gloves. Of reflex +5. Scrawled leather. Some other armor. Ooh. Some nice gloves. That's what I'm talking about. So this is average speed. And my poleaxe is slow. But it makes a lot more sense thematically. Can I grab that? Oh, okay. From the edge of the wall, you can see an old cobblestone road turning south and the patchy trees of Valenwood. Valewood. Ha! Valewood. Climb down. You swing yourself over the side and pick your way back down to ground level. Let's give it a save. Norton.
Welcome.
The man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movements. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. "Greetings," he says, a little breathless. "On your way south, is it?" "Oh, mana. Have to say, don't see too many Aumaua out this way. You headed to Defiance Bay? Lots of work on the harbor, I hear." He wipes his brow, turning to face you. "The sooner you're clear of the woods, the better, I think. Our caravan was attacked and we're trying to get to Guildvale. You now have one rank in a disposition reputation. These reputations represent how much people perceive your personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity, but if your main character is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to misalign their disposition with what is favored by their deity and other respectively. For the main character only, their disposition will modify the effects of holy radiance for priests or faith conviction for paladins. Okay. Hard luck, and I'm sorry to hear it. You should be fine from here. There's no missing the Vale if you keep on the road. You haven't far to walk. But you'll want to keep clear of this place after that. We were just attacked north of here, me and my friend of mine. We came out here to hunt some deer. Came up on a bear instead. Great monstrous thing, and Pearly. He didn't make it." He shakes his head. "I don't know what I'll tell his wife. In any case, this forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else." "Where did you find this bear?" "In a cave, a ways up that way." He turned to point to the northwest. "I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear it took another life. In any case, the 40 years, yeah, okay." So I could go over there, or could go north and take down this bear. I think we already know what I'm going to do. Do a quick save in case we get a crash. Let's head up. Scroll of Tanglefoot. Okay. Got some interesting stuff here. The body. Is this up where the bear is? Something's making weird noises. Zaurip? Try to stun him. Hey, it worked. And a miss. And a miss. And a miss. We got a hit. We got a hit. Nice.
The longer we walk, the more lightly you'll have to sleep.
What we got here?
Yes? Of course.
Must be where the bear is. Check out this bear. Here's the bear. I've stunned the bear. Tense combat.
I'll have your eye for that one.
Alright. Taken down.
As you wish.
Oh, so this must be his friend. Lost spirit. A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with heavy chill. Reach out. You reach out a hand to the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you have been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edge of your vision. You feel the sun at your back and the weight of a bow at your hand. You know suddenly that you have come a long way from the vale, hunting deer. Now you are standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into the depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There is a roar like thunder echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards a light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden, terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lanced through with pain, but in a moment of terrible clarity, you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger dabbled in crimson to match his cloak. And then there's a great dark shape above you, and then there is more pain. The vision recedes, and you are thrown back into yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet, and the specter lingers in the span of energy between you both. You feel a sense of questioning, of confusion, of anger. I met him on the road, your friend. A sudden flashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seems to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I'll find him. For a moment the spirit seems to burn bright, and your head fills with a sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with force of its own exultation, growing fainter and fainter until you are alone once more. Spear is 3 to 18 pierce. Nice crawl through the eye sockets and over femurs. Ew. Alright, so that guy seems to have either he was running from the bear and to save himself betrayed his friend to preoccupy the bear, or it was a setup to get rid of his friend for some reason.
The
Interesting.
longer we walk, the more lightly you'll have to sleep.
So we are now in Gilded Vale, which I believe is the first town. When we go into the center, we should have a cutscene. Urgent. A man approaches you, his skin as dull and gray as the desolate village behind him. He scans you with sunken, lifeless eyes. You must be one of the new settlers. His voice is a dry croak. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here. He glances at the gnarled, leafless monstrosity of a tree next to him. You welcome everyone this way. The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
His gaze swivels back to you. He approaches you over half-moon spectacles and scratches his chin. No.
Are you absolutely certain? Lord Raderick has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
His eyes narrow.
I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly towards the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
His arms fold. I'd like to report a murder. The magistrate raises a brow. As is your duty, what happened? A man called Norman has killed his friend Pearlie out in the wilds. A cruel and cowardly deed, if indeed it occurred at all. What evidence do you have? I have a vision of the victim's final moments. I saw the crime unfold. A vision? Urgent sighs. We do not take such accusations lightly in these parts. Next time you feel inclined to jest about such things, I would suggest that you reflect upon the risks involved. He looks pointedly at the tree. If you have any other suggestions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understands our rules. I have been feeling strange since a close call with the Biowick. Is there something in town that could help me?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. He regards you carefully. You'll want to mind where you mention that. Trespassing on egg within ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Be wrath, have mercy. We certainly have. I don't think so. Just as they finished, there was a biowick. Polishes his spectacles on his sleeves. If you'd been that close to a biowick, you wouldn't be standing here.
Keep
Goodbye.
out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
Urgent looks towards the east, his expression unreadable. He blinks slowly and turns his attention back to you.
3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
A peculiar spasm crosses his face. The corner of his mouth quirks up into a mirthless smile. What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck at the heart of the Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Bayrath must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn or a stable for all I care. Find me after you. I will know more soon enough. Alright. Trouble in the kingdom. Give it a save.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. He exhales and turns his attention away, watching the village around him. The man smiles broadly. Welcome to our lovely village. Okay. He doesn't seem terribly helpful. Things are bound to get worse now. Aloth. You see 4 people gathered at the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hand for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
The others, 2 folk men and an elven woman, don't look convinced. The woman crosses her arms. She spits at his feet. What's going on? One of the other men points to the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us even while we shelter in our village just goes to show you what these fancy Adair manners are worth. You don't take too kind of treatment, not from foreigners, especially not from Adairans. The second man thrusts his chin at the elf. He stinks of sour ale. Go on, say it. I'm itching for an excuse. Faye, don't. You're itching for the kinding touch of your sister. He cocks. Oh, got him.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head!
A collective cry outrages from the locals. The second man snarls. I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say... whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Horror and shock paint themselves across the elven man's face in broad, hasty strokes. He frowns and swallows. He plants his feet, something surely and raw flickers through his eye. The elven woman draws a blade. That's where you're wrong. I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. The three drunks scowl at you. And why is that? Because you have to deal with me. They look at each other. One of the men gives the other two a warning shake of his head before turning to you. You're done for now, but this one better watch his step around here because we're not going anywhere. With a final scowl at the elf, he turns to leave. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You're welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
Gives you a quick smile. He straightens his hood, and you note the remains of a fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
Tell me, how did you manage to get stuck out here? He laughs uncomfortably. That is something of a long story.
I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan Ruins? Well, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. In half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
A biowac.
And you survived? I've heard such a thing was impossible. But it seems you either have a knack for timing or the favor of the gods.
He regards you with a new interest. What are you doing in Guildfell?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
And you? Been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. And he has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
His darting glance takes in a tumble-down buildings and fallow, rock-strewn fields. I expect that such expertise would be best sought elsewhere. As
should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do it. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Well, as you wish.
Alright. Let's give a save. And that's going to wrap it up for part 4. Join me next time for part 5, where we will continue our journey.
Aye?
We now have a
What is
wizard
it?
in our midst. So, join me next time. We should have some fun. It'll be fun. I promise. It'll probably be fun.